Hey there, humans. It was a long week last week. I did not like last weekend. And Daddy had to do his first aid. Me and Daddy are very tired. But Daddy said the show must go on. When we have a chance to record an episode, we gotta record. But I say phooey to that. You guys can look at me while I just sit here and snore. Because I'm not going to put any effort into this one today. Good afternoon, Magic players and card collectors of all kinds. You see the packs, you know what day it is. It is time for Dollarama Draws of Destiny. We got 4 packs of Destiny for you today. Maybe we'll dip into a 5th one. We'll see. I agree with Kaiba. It's been a pretty rough couple of weeks. You may have noticed my depression's been kind of showing in the videos. I apologize for that. Still feeling kind of bummed out right now. But finally get some time off with Kaiba, so we're taking a few days to ourselves. Yeah, I had some time to record today, so want to try and get this video out for you guys. Hope you'll enjoy it. See if we can pull some legendaries. Good times, all around. Let's dive right in. Hopefully you guys checked out my Super Deck Sunday, where I forgot to call it Super Deck Sunday until like 2/3 of the way through the video. I showed the deck to my mom. She loved the artwork. She has no interest in playing with the cards, and she told me to just keep it for myself. So she thought they were pretty, but she doesn't care that much, which works out for me because that's a pretty solid and expensive deck. So I'm actually really excited to try and play with it myself. But yeah. Other than that, not too much to report on. Mother's Day was nice. We'll start this pack off while I chit-chat. We got a Silhana Ledgewalker. Elf Rogue, Hexproof. Can't be blocked except by creatures of flying. Solid. Solid start. Eastmark Cavalier. Just want to make sure that that's... okay, we're good. We'll go legendaries, top pull, mid, bottom, lands. Okay. Eastmark Cavalier, Vigilance. Whenever it deals combat damage to a goblin or orc, destroy that creature. I mean, it's decent in Lord of the Rings, but otherwise, not super great. Is it Guildgate is solid, and I like the artwork on this one. Beautiful land. I am definitely going to build a Guildgate deck eventually, and that will be fun to put in. Warden of Evos Isle. Flying creature spells with flying you cast cost 1 less to cast. Solid. That's going in my bird deck. Ooh, old school art. Volcanic Hammer. 1993 to 2001. It's definitely old school. Deals 3 damage to target creature or player. Nice. Ooh, another old school card. We'll keep the old school cards down here below the legendaries. This one is from 95. Alright. Ray of Erasure. Eraser. Target player takes the top card of his or her library and puts it in his or her graveyard. Draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. Huh. That's interesting. Tarmogoyf Nest. Enchanted land has pay 1 and a green, tap, create a Tarmogoyf token. Huh. A Lurgoyf Aura. Interesting. I have not pulled this Kindred enchantment before. I do not have a lot of Lurgoyfs, but that's still a mid card, I think. I think that's pretty cool. Colossal Dread Mask, living weapon. The equipped creature has +6/+6 in trample. Jeez. Costs 5 to equip and 6 to put into play, but damn, in a green deck, that's not difficult to pull off. That is definitely top tier. Let's play a game. It's actually not... Okay, I was originally going to think this was an unset card, but it's actually from Dustmourne. Delirium, choose one. If there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, choose 1 or more instead. Create creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Each opponent discards 2 cards, Each opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. Damn! Costs 4 to put into play, but if you've got the Delirium in play, you can get all 3 of those abilities? That's solid. Disturbing Mirth. That looks old too, but it's not... It's actually 2024. Oh, it's another Dustmourne card. When Disturbing Mirth enters, you may sacrifice another enchantment or creature. If you do, draw 2 cards. Okay. When you sacrifice Disturbing Mirth, just manifest Dread. Huh. I think that works better in a deck where you have more copies of it. I'm going to mid it for now, but I think that's probably more of a bottom card, to be honest. Trial of Agony. Choose 2 target creatures controlled by the same opponent. There's a lot of Dustmourne in this pack. Interesting. That player chooses 1 or more of those creatures. Trial of Agony deals 5 damage to that creature, and the other can't block this turn. That's crazy that there's so much Dustmourne in in the Dollarama pack today. This one's pretty good. I like that one. It only costs 1. It is sorcery speed, but still, it only costs 1, so. Gutless Plunderer. Skeleton Pirate with Death Touch, 2/2. Raid. When this creature enters, if you attack this turn, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You can put one of those cards back on top of your library and the rest go to your graveyard. Good for filtering through your deck somewhat, but otherwise, not super great. I'm going to admit it. Siege Worm costs 7 to put into play, but you can convoke it, which is nice, and it's a 5/5 with trample. Still going to admit it. Strider Harness. Equipment. Equipped creature has +1/+1 and has haste. Equip 1. Not bad. To be honest, the fact that it's called Strider Harness and it's picturing horses, I was thinking this was going to give me horsemanship, so I'm a little disappointed about that, but I'll admit that. And a Wavefire Javelineer. Minotaur Warrior. Enters the battlefield, it deals X damage to target creature an opponent controls, where X is the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Huh. Costs 4 to put into play, but that's not bad. 1 pack down, 3 packs left. I bought a fan on my way home from work today, and Kaiba is just loving to chill out by it. Which is great, because the last few days he's been panting really heavy in the room, and it's been making me nervous, so I figured just have a little bit of extra airflow in here might help him out. More Dustmourne. This is interesting. We might as well have bought Dustmourne packs. I mean, this is kind of funny. You're not going to probably pull any major, value cards per se, I mean to say, but still. Trapped in the Screen, War 2, and when it enters, exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment an opponent control. Ooh, until this leaves the battlefield. I like that. It only costs 3 and it has War 2. And we got an Act of Treason. We already know and love this card. Stone Golem costs 5 for a 4/4 vanilla card. The sculptor, like most artists, puts his heart and soul into his work. But the newly awakened golem decided it wanted its creator's other, more tangible parts. Yee. I'm gonna lower that one because that's just creepy. Argivian Cavalier. There's an actual orc in white? That's interesting. It has an list. And whenever it enters the battlefield, you create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Huh. Alright. Well, I mean, that's pretty decent. I'm gonna top that. Shore Up. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof until end of turn, and you untap it. Yes, please. Vial of Dragonfire. Costs 2 to put into play, and costs 2 to tap it, sacrifice it. It deals 2 damage to target creature. That is a lot of hoops to jump through to reduce 2 damage. I'm going to put that to the bottom. Vivian's Talent. I only have one other copy of this, and it's actually insanely solid for Planeswalkers. So I'm happy to pull an extra one. I can put it into a different deck. Enchant Planeswalker. Enchanted Planeswalker has +1 loyalty. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You can reveal a creature or land, put that into your hand. The rest go to the bottom of your library in a random order. And whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you can put a loyalty counter on this Planeswalker. So just crazy value in the right deck. I'm definitely going to top that. Rolling Thunder deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or... Ooh, shoot. That's solid. Too bad it's sorcery speed, but I'm still going to top it. Giant's Grasp. Enchant Giant you control. I don't have a lot of giants. When Giant's Grasp enters the battlefield, gain control of target non-land permanent for as long as... Ooh, damn. It's a good card, but I don't have giants, so I'm going to mid it. Cleaving Sliver. Sliver creatures you control get +2/+0. I don't have a lot of slivers, so not super useful to me, but I will definitely give it its mid status that it deserves. Pearl of Wisdom costs 1 less to cast if you control an otter, draw 2 cards. I do not have very many otters, but that is still a decent spell. A second Cleaving Sliver, okay, that's kind of funny. Barkform Harvester. Artifact creature shapeshifter, changeling, reach. Pay 2, put the top card of your library on the bottom of your library. No, put target card from your graveyard. Sorry, on the bottom of your library. Damn, that's actually really good. The farmer's hide when it runs out of potatoes to harvest. That's disturbing. I like this thing. Cathodian. Construct. When it dies, add 3 colorless. Costs 3 to put into play. And it's a 3/3. I mean, it's decent. It's gonna probably not die on your turn, that's the problem. Unless you're sacrificing things. Lucky Clover. When you cast an adventure, instant, or sorcery spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. Huh. I mean, that's really powerful. I don't have a lot of adventure spells that I like, but in the right instant and sorcery deck, that's going to be insanely valuable. 2 packs down, 2 packs to go. No legendaries so far, but we still have hope. We still have faith. What the hell happened to this pack? Okay, I might need to take this aside for a second so we don't do spoilers. Somebody messed up this pack huge. I think that's because there's a double-sided. No, there's not double-sided in this. Okay. Sorted it out. I apologize. I just didn't want you guys to have anything ruined for you. I didn't really look at anything other than colors while I was flipping things around, so I didn't ruin anything for me either, per se. Friendly Teddy. I do love a good teddy bear. Artifact creature, bear toy. When it dies, each player draws a card. Aww. Why does it have to die for us all to draw a card? That's sad. I'm going to admit that because it's sad. Demon's Disciple. When it enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or a planeswalker. That's decent. It's a 3/1, so there's a solid chance you'll just sacrifice it, but I like it. I'm going to top it. Epicure of Blood. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. Definitely a decent vampire for 5. Boulder Fall costs 8 to play. Deals 5 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or players. 8 to play. I'm going to bottom that because I don't think you're going to have that kind of mana on an instant turn, or somebody else's turn. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. Bite down is pretty solid though. Plummet is costs 2 just to do a creature with flying. I'm gonna bottom that, to be honest. Second land of the day is an Exotic Orchard. It used to be like one of the least favorite lands of mine, but it's actually grown on me significantly in recent times. Galvanic Bombardment. Deals X damage to target creature where X is 2 plus the number of cards in... Okay, so that's going to the bottom. Virus Beetle. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. That's pretty solid. I think I've topped that before. Ooh, we pulled another Finn the Fangbearer. Nice. I can put one in another deck. Give more creatures Death Touch. Gotta love Death Touch. Ooh, I could put this in my squirrel deck. All the squirrels with Death Touch would be cool. And it's a legendary, which is amazing. And it's a different art than the one I had before. I like it a lot. Actually, I think I like that one better than the original one I have. I might switch it out in the actual commander deck. Extinguish the Light. Costs 4. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. If its mana value is 3 or less, you get 3 life. I'm gonna top that because of the life gain. Case of the Burning Mass. This is a new case for me. I have several cases, but I don't have this one. Enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to target creature an opponent controls. 3 or more sources you control dealt damage this turn. Does that include attacking? I'm not sure. And if it's solved, you get to sacrifice this thing. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. Choose one of them. You can play that card this... Yeah, that's not super great. All that for that? I'm gonna bottom that. I don't like that. Icathian Javelineers is my best guess. When it enters the battlefield, it does so with a javelin counter on it. Okay. Tap it, remove a javelin counter from it. It deals 1 damage to any target. Huh. Interesting. I'll admit it, because I'm sure there's got to be some way that that's useful, but I can't think of it right now. We got one flipped over by accident. It's Embiggen. Until end of turn, non-bushwag creature gets +1/+1 for each super type card type and subtype it has. Interesting. Only costs 1, so I mean, in theory, it's going to get at least +2/+2. One hopes. I'll instant that. Or top that. And a Kazandu Stomper. Costs 6 to put into play for a 6/5 with trample, and when it enters the battlefield, return up to 2 lands you control to their owner's hand. Huh. I'm going to mid that one. I'm sure there's some really good uses for that. Particularly in a good landfall deck, but I don't like the way that plays out. Alright, we're going to call this one the last pack for sure, probably, because I want to make sure I have enough space for other videos on my phone. And we already pulled a legendary, which is amazing, so we don't want to be too greedy. Is this pack messed up too? Nope, no mess up on this one. I wonder if it was only messed up because of the legendary being in there. Because I'm pretty sure that was the one that was flipped around and upside down and in the wrong order. I originally thought it was a double-sided card when I first looked at it. But we'll see. Maybe this will prove me wrong. Cynical Loner. Can't be blocked by glimmers. At the beginning of your second main phase, if this thing is tapped, you can search your library for a card, put it into your graveyard, and shuffle. Huh. That's pretty useful as a tutor. You just gotta find a way to tap it without actually attacking, because it's a 3/1, so it's kind of not super great. Radiant's Judgment. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater, and it has cycling 2. That's alright. Break a Day. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Fateful Hour. If you have 5 or less life, those creatures also gain indestructible. Ooh, nice. Ash Barrens. Ooh, beautiful artwork on the Ash Barrens. 2023? I'm not sure what set that's from. Oh, I think it's a Lord of the Rings one. Nice. Maybe. I'm not sure. That symbol is weird. Anyways. Has basic land cycling. Taps for colorless. Oh yeah, it's definitely Lord of the Rings. The pleasant row of old hobbit holes in the bank on the north side of the pool were deserted. And their little gardens that used to run down right to the water's edge were rank with weeds. Oh, this must be like after, like, Mordor attacked or something. Third land of the day, though. Gaseous Form. Enchant creature, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and by the enchanted creature. Deece. Wormfang Drake. Nightmare Drake, flying. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you exile a creature you control other than this. When it leaves the battlefield, return the exile card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Huh. I like it. Over the top. Each player reveals a number of cards equal to the top from the top of their library equal to the number of non-land permanents they control. Puts all permanent cards they revealed this way onto the battlefield and puts the rest in their... What in the hell is this? For 7? That's a really fun card. Snap. Return target creature to its owner's hand, untap 2 lands. Cost 2 to play, so that's pretty funny. You can play that, right? Ooh, a full art Rising Day. Nice, from Lord of the Rings. It's got that beautiful Rohirrim charge. Creatures you control have haste, and legendary creatures get +1/+0. Beautiful art. Briar Hydra. This pack's a banger. 6/6 for 6. Trample. Domain. When this thing deals combat damage to a player, put X +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. Where X is the number... What in the world? Wow, that's really cool. If I put this in a tricolor deck, I'm going to get to put 3 +1/+1 counters on any creature. Yeah, on any target creature I control. Nice. Definitely a top card. Empty the Warrens. Create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens, and it has Storm. Costs 4 to play, but solid. Reviving Dose. You gain 3 life and you draw a card. Costs 3 to play, but it's a good instant. Drifting Meadow. Enters the battlefield tapped, add colorless, or no, add planes, or you can cycle for 2. Nice. Prickly Marmoset. For strike, whenever you cycle a card, this thing gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Mid. Cartographer's Companion. The last card of the pack. When it enters the battlefield, you create a map token. Dece. Alright, well, we only pulled the 1 legendary, but it is a pretty solid legendary for sure. Everybody loves to build a deck around this, as far as I've been told many, many times since I built my own. Like I say, I'm not sure what deck I'm going to put that in, but I'm sure there's several options available to me because I do love to give things Death Touch. But we'll leave it there. Alright. Give you guys a shot of the Pugger. Much love to you all from me. You take care. And happy Tuesday. Bye.